Hi everyone. Sorry, I kept pushing for it to go live and then it just kept spinning around. So I took the the risk and hit refresh. So let me fix my camera because right now it's a little too far into my desk and yeah. And then let me zoom this out just a little. Uh, let's see. And then I'll get to saying hello and all that. Oh, this is the world's slowest Zoom. There we go. Okay. I can always adjust that more later. All right. Hi, Painting with Pities. Oh, I like that name. That's really cute. Hi, Hannah and Rainbow Kitten and Elise and the Jamaican Hippie. I hope you guys are well. I am still sick. I can't seem to shake this cough, and this cough has turned into like laryngitis, and it's just a nasty business. So I know I had put in my community tab, some choices, and I really wanted to do watercolor pencils. Excuse me. But once I kind of I came up to my art studio and I was getting things set up, and I realized, you know what? I have like an entire stack of things that need backgrounds. So I thought today we would work on that and get as many backgrounds as we can out. I'm going to use various mediums. So I've got my gelatos, my pan pastels, my Neocolors. I also have my Lyra crayons. Let's see. I have my Pip pastels, distress inks. Yeah, just all sorts of things. What is it? Oh yeah, and watercolor pencils, and then of course King Art gel crayons. So yeah, we'll just play around with a bunch of different mediums that you can use for your backgrounds. And then that way I can get like this whole stack finished because I have quite a bit. So I'm probably going to need to break out my Tim Holtz mat. I didn't think of it ahead of time. So let me grab that real fast just because it's easier to clean. Hi, Erica and Pauline and Michelle and Leanne and Pearl. I think I got it all. I haven't even swatched the rest of my King Art ones because I was going to do a video on it. Let me grab my Tim Holtz mat real quick. Ugh. The reason I don't normally break out the Tim Holtz mat is, well, it's big and bulky. It also shows everything above us, but whatever. All right, so let me move my camera back this way more now. Because I don't want to be reaching across my desk to do backgrounds. It's just not fun. All right, I think we're as straight as we're going to get. Okay, so I think first, while I'm waiting for everyone to join, I'll show you everything I have that we need to make some backgrounds for. And I'm just going to kind of wing it. I may have you guys offer some suggestions and whatnot if I'm stuck, but this will kind of be a fun little experiment because I hate doing backgrounds. I literally loathe them, but I've made a new rule that like if I finish a page, I got to do it. So some of these are from February completed pages. I did not film a February completed pages because, as you guys know, we kind of had a little family incident occur with our dogs. So I haven't done that. I'm just going to combine that with March. But so let's talk the PDFs that I want to do some backgrounds on today. Hi, Cheryl and B. Oh, no worries. Lurk away. Okay, so this one here is a Lana Green one. Obviously, it was for Valentine's. Kind of sucks to show it later, but whatever. Hi, viewers of you. So I want to work on the background for this one. I'm thinking, or I'm leaning towards gelatos, but we shall see. And then I also have this one here that I want to do a background for. I may break out my pan pastels for this one because I'm just picturing a very soft, pillowy background. And yeah, I just love this image and I don't want to take away from all the pink that's on it. So we'll see what we do with that one. This gal here, she needs a background. This, I think I showed in my January pages. So I think you guys have seen this one. That's right, because I did this with Artix. Hi, sorry, my thing popped up. Hi, Dawn and Dee. So yeah, we're gonna give her a background today. Again, haven't really decided what I want, but it's no biggie. That's what we're all here for. This one I did this month, also for Valentine's Day. I haven't finished his hair, the little Cupid's hair, but that's because I'm gonna go in and do it like all white. So I just need the background done first. So this one is going to need a background today. Again, it's from February, but I guess my next completed pages video will have a lot, right? All right, and then I have, let me see if I can get this. Sorry, I'm trying to get so you guys can get a better view. So if you get queasy, just don't look for a second because this is driving me bonkers. I didn't get a chance to get everything set up beforehand because I had to hurry and get the dogs out and then get them their medicines. And yeah. Okay, so I have a page here in Molly Harrison's 100 illustrations. This one I actually belted out really quick. Oh, here we go. So I just want to get a background on this one. I love the wings so much though that I don't want to take away from the wings. This was 8 colors. So it took me forever and I'm yeah, we've got to, and I kind of want it dark, but I don't know. So like I said, we'll be discussing it. You guys share your ideas. A lot of you are so talented with backgrounds, whereas I'm just I don't know. Okay. I do have an image. This one's actually a whip, but I need to get the background done. Now this I'm actually doing for Erica's. Oh crap, Erica, can you put in chat? I know it's mythical something. Erica has a hashtag, and she showed this book as part of her, pages to work on, and I was like, oh, I want to work on that one now. So it's her fault that I picked this book up. That's what I'm gonna say. Just kidding. I haven't used this book, and it needed love, but yes, Myth and Magic March. That's what it is. So I started this one. It's a Josh Lee. And yeah, I've got to work on the background for this before I can do her hair. I love the colors though. And I don't want to take away from the colors because gosh darn it, that took me forever. Hi, Emily. Okay, and then I have a page in here. Oh, there's no 2023. Well, hey, then you can just reuse it every March. So look at it as a good thing. So I have this one here that I had finished. I think this was in my January completed pages, but I need to do a background for it. I'm thinking I'll either be using my Lyras or Neocolors for this one. Maybe even some watercolor pencils instead. I don't know. Gotta think. That's what we're here for today. Let's see. Yeah, so a few subscribers have mentioned that their Walmarts carry the Coloring Heavens. Now mine don't, but that's not to say others won't. I'm sorry, this camera's ticking me off. It's all crooked. But mine don't. So if you live close to me in Utah here, I'm sure some in Utah would. Where's the page in here? Oh, okay, so I also have this one that I need to work on. I had started it with pencil, and then I realized that was just dumb, so I erased it. I believe, oh crapola, what did I color these with? Ugh, they're not, oh, you know what? These I think are Brute Furner squares. Okay, So yeah, so we'll see. I've got to cover that up, and I need something pretty opaque. So I'm probably going to do like a Neocolor on this one, just because, yeah. And I think that was, I'm missing a page. Where did it go? It doesn't matter. We have plenty to work on. So I think I think the one I want to start with is one that's a little easier just to get like things flowing. So that's this one. So we have Mythographic Menagerie. I actually really like this book. I normally do not enjoy mythographic books, but this one I really did. I need to adjust this here. Hi, Claire. And if I miss anyone, I'm really sorry. It's so hard to keep up with chat, and then my voice may give out. But all right, so I am thinking with this one, I think I want to use like my Neocolors or my Lyras. Let's see, where's my Lyras chart? Ugh. I've also realized that I need to really organize some of my mediums. Whew. All right, so these are the Lyras. And these are pretty. I want this to be a nice dark background though. Like, let's see. Meyer does, and so does Michaels and Barnes and Noble in Ohio. That's good to know. Gosh, are Barnes and Nobles even around these days? All the ones out here have been closing. It's kind of depressing. Okay, so this green is kind of like more of a sagey green, but I'm thinking I may use my Neocolors. Let me grab those. Let's see what colors we got in here. This is the fun of making backgrounds, and this is why I also generally avoid making backgrounds because I'm like, I don't want to do this, but we're gonna do it because I got a rule. I've got to say the purples, yeah, like the purple selection and even some of these dark ones are so much better. I love the Lyras, don't get me wrong, but I think Neocolor is going to give me the purples that I want. Okay, so oops, are we stuck on there? Okay, so now that we've decided we're going to do Neocolor for this one, I am thinking, because I want to stick with this purple, because I was doing a limited color palette from Sarah Renee Clark. So I'm tempted to use the aubergine, but I think that will be too dark and kind of take away from this color here. But I like, let's see, I'm holding it up just to see. Excuse me. Hi, Wendy. All right, so I'm thinking that's too teal. Oh, I do love that cobalt blue, though. That would really pop, but I got to stick to my palette. So, you know what? I think I am going to do the aubergine, and then I'm just going to go back and outline the mushrooms in white because I really picture this as a dark background. I just want it dark. I mean, like the wood is dark. So yeah, I'm definitely going to pull out my aubergine. Let's see. Is there any... Got to be careful about mixing it with a green because I'll get a brown and it'll be a really hideous brown with that aubergine. Let's see. I might add a titch of the purple violet or the lilac. Actually, lilac. So aubergine and lilac. There we go. Hi, Susan. Watching from work. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I like the aubergine too. It's just I was kind of worried because it's similar to this, but once it's dry, I'll just go back with a white gel pen or a Posca and outline the mushrooms because I still got to put little dotsies on them anyway. So whatever. So let me grab those colors. And then let's see. What did I say? I want to do aubergine with a little bit of lilac. It's violet. Oh, here's lilac. Oh, there we go. All right. I do love my Neocolors. Okay. Let's see, how can I keep this all on frame? I need to buy a desk strictly for live streaming so that I don't have to clean it off. What peach are you thinking, Erica? I'm down to add some peach. I just don't want it, my goal is I want it really dark because I love the dark wood. So I kind of just want it to have that eerie look, you know? But yeah, I mean, there are some cute peaches. I mean, the salmon might, I don't know. Flesh is too light, I think. It's so many choices. Hi, Melissa. Let's see, where's my scrap paper? What we'll do is got loads of scrap paper everywhere. Let me grab out this. Let's see. Let me grab the salmon and just see how it looks. One sec. Okay. Whew. The hardest part is so a lot of these are going to be placed on the floor. So I have to bend over to grab all the colors. That's always lovely, right? All right. Got my spray bottle in case we distress ink it up. Let's see. Laminating, keep watercolor markers from bleeding. I must have missed part of that conversation about the watercolor markers. All right, let's see. So let's check these colors. So we've got the aubergine. Oh gosh, isn't that such a gorgeous freaking color? I'll zoom you guys in, I guess, a little now. Oh, the buttons a girl has to push. Hi, Carol. I don't want to zoom in too much because my camera's being so off today. Okay, now we've got our lilac. I'm not blending them together. I just want to see how they look. All right, and then we've got salmon. Oh my gosh, my Neocolor crayons are so cold right now because my studio, I haven't been up here much at all this week. So that everything's cold. Cold art supplies is actually not a good thing. All right, so I just kind of see. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a blend there, but I just want to see what we're getting here and how those look together. Excuse me. So let's, so I don't like the salmon. It's not going to work for me, but I do like these two. So I'm going to go with these. Hi, Kristen. Oh, I might have to put a cough drop in. Okay. So why is this being dumb? Okay, there we go. Centered. And yeah, since I don't know what supplies I'll end up actually using, I will go ahead and put them in the description after the stream at some point. Okay, so we're gonna go with the aubergine and lilac, and we're just gonna kind of roll through here. Yeah, anytime your art supplies get cold, it's kind of even my watercolors. Although I must admit, it's the nicest time to use M. Graham and Sennelier because they they don't they're normally tacky. So when it's really cold, they actually firm up. So you're oh, sweet. They're not as sticky. But let's see. And please, if you have a question, just put it in caps. So I don't miss it. I don't think you guys in the UK, have you guys changed time zones or time yet, your daylight savings? Because today was our daylight savings, so we moved up an hour, and I did not realize that until my husband told me at 10 o'clock last night. And so I was oh, yeah, I wasn't ready for that one. When do you guys change in the UK? Like, when's your little swappity do? Because that means so I see, and that's the problem. I always like lose track. I'm like, okay, so how far ahead are you now? 26th of March. Gotcha. Okay. That's not too far. You'd think they would, I don't know. I think the whole like daylight savings thing is dumb anyways, but you think if like other countries do it, we could all just do it on the same day and just, not have this confusion thing going down, but what do I know? There may be reasons. Let's see. So we're adding, like, I'm just kind of going in between the aubergine color and lilac. Hi, Ashley. Yeah, I honestly did not know that it was the time change until he said something, and then I was like, "Oh, well, that's gonna suck." And then I didn't get a chance to like warn any of my subscribers, but I was like, "Well, they'll see I go live, so whatever, it's fine." Now, when I do Neocolors, I overlap a little. You don't have to, but that's just what I do. Occasionally, I'll do a second coat, but my goal in life is to not. So, yeah. Like I prefer to get it done in one round. Like I've always said, my channel should be called The Lazy Colorist because I want to find ways to get things done that look pretty and not take forever. Don't know why I never named it that because that's just how I roll. So I'm just kind of overlapping a few here and there because these colors are going to blend really nicely from my test sheet. Yeah, I know. I hate losing an hour, but like, so, okay, since we sprung ahead, I woke up at 6:45. So that means I really woke up at 5:45. Wait, yeah. No, yeah. I don't know. See, and that's the problem. Then I sit here and argue with myself. But yeah, it would have been 5:45 had the clocks not jumped ahead, if I'm doing that math in my head right. Um, I don't know. It's not like I'm getting any sleep anyways, because I'm constantly giving the dogs their meds all night. But it would be nice to just not have to worry about that. So let's see. I'm gonna do like some small sections here, and then we'll activate it, see how it's looking. Maybe press a little harder. One thing when you're using Neocolors or any of these water soluble crayons, I do want to warn you guys, never press hard. Like you can layer and like you can sit here and do like 50 layers if you want. I don't care, but don't press hard because they don't always, go away, those lines. But if you want like a really heavy concentration of the color, just keep overlapping it and get that pigment down, but don't press. Lightness is your friend. Oh, no, I haven't really talked about the dogs yet. So, I got them out. Well, I shouldn't say I got them outside. I made my son take them outside because it's snowing. and but actually, cute little Indy's doing really well, actually. So I'm kind of happy about that because she's the one that should have she honestly should not have survived. So and my daughter would have been devastated because that's like her puppy, that's her baby, but she's doing good. But unfortunately, huskies don't understand the word lay down and chill all day because that's not in their breed. We're trying to keep her sedated till she gets her staples out from her operation, because they had to cut out the bullet that was in her chest wall, which is just bonkers to say, to be quite honest. But I'm gonna zoom in just a little more for you guys. Or not. It wants to zoom in. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I'm waiting for her appointment to get her staple out. But it's the weirdest thing on Indie. So like the round she was shot with is a small round, and it basically bounces around inside of any body, dog, animal, human. So what happened is it shot her through the back, came out one part of her leg, went back through her stomach, and then went all the way up and like lodged in her chest cavity. And that's what's just nuts about it is the fact that so she basically has two entry wounds, an exit wound, and then the surgical wound where they removed it. And she's kind of our chunky monkey, and that's literally what saved her was the fact that she's a little fat right now. So I'm like, well, it's a good thing she's chubby, but yeah, she's out of the woods now because they were worried that because of the constant entry and exit, she would go into tissue shock. I didn't know any of these things until the vet was telling me about it. So I was like, that's a thing, but okay. Um, but she's past that point. They're just now trying to get her injury wounds to heal. And but um unfortunately Harper, she has a broken leg, and then her other leg is casted due to buckshot injuries, and she's not doing well. Um I'm not I've got to take her back in Monday for a new cast change. They've already operated and removed shrapnel and bone fragments, and now despite being on antibiotics twice a day, she's starting her legs getting warm. She's got an infection. So I don't know what they're going to do next. And she won't sit still. So they need to figure out like a different method of sedating her so that she will sit still. So it just sucks because I mean, well, neither of them needed to go through that, but I've been working really hard with Harper lately because she has a lot of post-traumatic stress from, being in the shelter and whatnot. And I was working with her and she was finally like going up to people. And yeah, that dog's not gonna go near anyone now. So I'm gonna have to start all over. And also worse is I was watching TV the other day and there was just like a gunshot wound, or not wound, a gunshot that went off in the TV show, and she started freaking out. So she's got like major PTSD from that too. So I talked to our trainer and he's going to have to work with her on that because yeah, it's just it's dumb. Um I did have that video up kind of like explaining what happened to the dogs because I had so many emails asking what happened and messages, and I just I didn't have like the time or ability to just like repeat the same message, but I had to take the video down because um I got a lot of horrible messages. I was pretty shocked. I'm not gonna lie, like some of the messages I got, I was just like, I really can't believe that's what I just heard or read, I should say. But um, I, yeah, I didn't want to cause any drama or I didn't even put out the video for pity. I was just trying to update you all as bulk because I couldn't email everyone individually. But yeah, just some of the messages I got, that's why I removed it because I was like, I'm not gonna have drama on here. But I was just someone actually told me that I should be the one shot and should be shot for my dogs escaping. And I was just like, okay. Well, thanks. That really helps my situation and really, puts a positive vibe out there in the world. But I guess it is what it is, right? I don't understand why people would send things like that either. Like And, even my thing is I know it was my fault my dogs escaped. I didn't, like, open the gate and say, "Hey, run free," but they escaped. They're my responsibility. I'm more than aware of that. I really don't need people to remind me of that fact because I literally, the whole weekend, the first weekend they were injured, cried every day, so angry with myself that they got out. And worse is we've tried everything to keep these dogs in the yard. It's like, I mean, I've tried everything. I have no dig fences all around my property. I have concrete. My dogs are on GPS. Literally, we were chasing them down within a minute of them escaping. So, like, I've done everything. We've tried the electric fence, but my dogs will hit the electric fence, as they're digging, and they'll just take the shocks until they can run free. So that's why we have GPS. And but still, I'm trying everything. So my husband has decided what we're going to do is dig 1-foot trenches on both sides of our fence. And we're going to fill it with concrete because the no dig fences, which also go down 1 foot, just aren't doing it apparently. And we're going to fill it with concrete. I mean, it's going to cost us 10 grand to do this. And that's what's just, but like, I don't want this to ever happen to my dogs. Yeah, that's the thing, Wendy. Like, huskies escape. Like, anyone who owns a husky knows that. I know that. That's why there's so many in the animal shelter that I want to rescue. Um, but like, that's just what they do. They want to be free, and we give our dogs mental and physical exercise so that they're given the work that they need because they're working breeds. But yeah, they are amazing escape artists. I tried to explain that to someone. I sent them this video of a husky fitting through, like, those like wrought iron bars. The husky's like bigger than the bar and was wiggling through it. Like, I mean, the holes that I've seen them escape out of, I just don't get it. I'm like, they're like rats. I swear they're like, they can collapse and just squeeze through things. I don't know. But I've tried everything, and I mean, you guys are so sweet saying it's not my fault, but I do blame myself because I just feel like there's something else I should have done. Um, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think my neighbor should have just opened fire on my animals. um, so, um, so the neighbor, he claims he didn't know they were my dogs, but he lives 3 houses down, so that one was kind of baffling. Um, but like, the other thing is he's claiming my dogs are aggressive and vicious, and that's what angered me almost more than the fact that he hurt them, because I was like, my dogs aren't vicious. But all our neighbors are writing letters. Our dog trainer has written a letter, just talking about their temperament and how they're not vicious dogs. So we're hoping that, because animal control is investigating now, they'll do something and override the rule that the county has. Because, yeah, he claimed my dogs were aggressive. And I mean, one of the dogs that was hurt is Indy. She's like the friendliest, biggest derp you'll ever meet. She just wants to play. And then our neighbors who have farms right next door wrote letters just saying, like, dude, these dogs have been on our property. They've been around our kids. They're not vicious. They're friendly. And um it's just nuts. But the problem is like, I know he's not telling the truth. Even the deputies from the sheriff's department knew he wasn't, but the law is the law, and I absolutely hate that freaking phrase now. But, all he has to say is he was defending his land from my vicious dogs, and it's his word against dogs. So it's just, it's just sickening. Um, and then the fact that he harmed my dogs and he didn't report it, and then he just left them to die. Like, had they not come home, I don't think we would have found them in time because they were bleeding really bad. And it's just, yeah, like our whole neighborhood and area is like all in uproar. Not at me, at him, for doing that because he has chickens and everything on his property, but no fence. So it's almost like he's luring animals in and then penalizing them for doing what animals do. And I'm like, that's not fair. So it's just been, let's see, a hope. Let's see, I saw something, body cams. It's funny you mentioned that, Dee. I uh I almost invested in the tracker that had cameras. I just didn't because, well, it's a fortune and I have four huskies. Only three ever try to escape. Um Scout's over it. but but I mean, they're on GPS. That's why the officers knew exactly which house to go to because the GPS pretty much showed where they ran to, but um yeah, the whole thing sickens me. And then just I do apologize because I know a few of you have mentioned I haven't replied to your emails or Instagram. I am by no means trying to be rude. I had to have, after I had opened some emails that were just like I said, threatening or telling me that I should go get shot. Uh, I had to have a friend go through and kind of like go through and like sift through my emails and my Instagram messages and just delete and block um, anything that was triggering because I was just beside myself after reading some of those. I didn't even know how to react. And unfortunately, some of those were actual subscribers of my channel, so that was that kind of hurt a little more. And so I didn't film this week even though I wanted to because I was just kind of feeling like what's the point. But some really good friends of mine reached out and were just like, no, film, make yourself happy. And so that's why I decided to live stream today and just kind of ease into it. But yeah, it's amazing what people can say to you when you're having a bad day. um yes, someone did shoot my dogs, Natasha. I did have, like I said, I had a video up. You're welcome to join my Discord. And on my Discord, I talk about it in our Fur Babies channel. So please feel free to go there to my Discord. A bunch of you have joined. I'm gonna have to get another Discord mod because I was like, oh crap. There's so many people in there now. I haven't added everyone's roles, but yeah, I do update in there. I'm trying to keep it off the channel now just because of some of the responses I had gotten. So I just don't want to deal with that because this is my happy place. It sucks though because as a YouTuber, um, like I like talking to you guys, but I don't want to just be like the chick that picks up some crayons and colors. Like I want you to get to know me. Like I want to get to know you. That's kind of the point. And so that's why I would do Whip Wednesdays and all that. And but unfortunately, yeah, sometimes when you put yourself out there, what comes back stings. And so that's the bummer. It's like you can share. We don't like you don't need to share, but I just want to like be able to connect to you guys. I'm not a robot. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Get that one filled in. Let's see. Yeah, Ashley, I'm so sorry about that. I know there's a lot of toxicity just everywhere. Not just in like adult coloring. Art communities have mentioned a lot of toxicity going on. And um it's just baffling because it's like I was always taught if you don't have anything nice to say, well, you just don't say it. Like, it's common knowledge. So, um, but yeah, it's just sad to see how vicious people can be, and they really just don't care how it hurts the person who reads it. So it's just awful. Hi, Minnie. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Let's see. Oh, thank you, painting with pities. I do know there's more people that are positive and support me. It just sucks that some people can kind of ruin that warm and fuzzy feeling you get when you open your email and you have like literal threats. Then you're like, wow. We're waiting for animal control to finish up. So that's the problem. Once animal control finish their investigation, then we can take other routes, but animal control has to finalize. So we're kind of stuck in limbo land at the moment while I just keep spending thousands of dollars on vet bills. I can't believe how much money a freaking emergency vet costs. Like, I know there's a purpose, but it feels like robbery. Like, I was just sitting there, like, when they would come in with the estimate, and I'm like, but what am I gonna say? Like, no, I just skip it, let the dog suffer. I can't do that, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh. And Harper's freaking leg. Like I said, I gotta take her into tomorrow, and I'm just gonna sit there and be like, "All right, what is it today?" And just and but it's not. Yeah, she needs it. Like otherwise, she won't have a quality of life. She will, no matter what they think, have a permanent limp. So that I feel bad, but dogs overcome that type of stuff. So, and she's a tough cookie. I don't have pet insurance. I wish I did. I've always been kind of iffy about pet insurance because a lot of my family have had bad experiences. Um, I did talk to our vet hospital when they said, "Hey, bring her in on Monday." I was like, "Listen, guys, like a woman only has so much money," and they said they have a program there that you can do that allows you to pay for it a little easier. So I'm just gonna go that route. But yeah, I've had family do pet insurance and it really didn't cover much. Hi, Claire. But yeah, the vet bills are equivalent of fur baby college costs. I can't believe it. I was just like, wow. Uh, but I just feel bad. My poor dogs, like I think they hate me right now because 3 times a day, Indy's getting pills shoved down her throat. And Harper is at 5 times a day. So they're probably just like, oh, this woman. Like every time I come near them, I have pills in my hand. Like, I'm sorry. But, and then Indy, she actually cheeks her medication to the side of her cheek. Like, it's funny. She'll like lick it back out of her throat. I don't know how she does it. And she cheeks it. And so I have to check the inside of her mouth now to make sure she's not hiding her pills. Like, oh my gosh, dog, just take the medicine. Oh, thanks, Claire. I've had this flu for a little bit. I think the stress of everything going on has left me unable to recover. So I'm hoping once the stress dies down, I can like get rid of this stupid cough. Like it's been like 3 weeks now, 4 weeks, and I'm still congested too. I'm like, this is the world's longest flu. But it's not like I can take time off. I got to take care of the puppies. I still got a job, kids in sports. So it's just like, oh. Let's see. Yeah, Art and Diamonds. My dogs were hurt last Saturday. They escaped, and our neighbor shot them for being on his property. So we're just kind of working to get them better, but I can't go back in time, so I just have to kind of deal with what we're dealing with now and just go through with it. But we'll see. I'm hoping Monday we'll get better news on Harper, 'cause that poor dog is just casted on both hind legs, so she's already miserable. Oh, I haven't seen it yet, Claire. I was just telling everyone how um I had to avoid my social media and emails for just a wee bit and have a friend kind of review them, since I had some hate mail that I didn't want to read. So I was like, can you read these? And if they're bad, erase them, block them, never see them again. So I am this week. My goal is to catch up on all the Instagram. Um, oh, and I do want to say thank you. As some of you have been sending happy mail for my puppies. And I just wanted to say thank you because I thought that was just so cute. Someone sent me some doggy treats. Another person sent a puppy pillow and a toy. And I just thought that was so sweet of you guys. So thank you for those gifts. And I will be emailing those who sent them as well. I just, like I said, I'm a little behind, but I thought that was so sweet of you guys. And then someone sent me a coloring book to make me happy, and I thought that was sweet too. So you guys are all so awesome. Excuse me. Harper is talking. She was actually just starting to open up and talk to us a ton right before she got injured, so that was a bummer. She's still talking, but not as much. But what was so cool about Harper is she got Indy and Akira to start talking, and they normally don't talk. Scout talks. You guys know Scout never shushes. But I was just I was like, it's almost like she came along and made the other dogs decide to start talking. I don't know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, now she only talks because she's mad that she's stuck in a kennel, or she'll just sit there and howl. But I'm hoping her personality will stay the same. So what I did, Elise, instead of a GoFundMe, because I kind of researched GoFundMe and the fees they take. I was like, well, that sucks, because some people want to donate, but then like GoFundMe is like, here. So what I did is I did put it in the description of the video, but like it's I have run it through my Ko-fi or Ko-fi account, because they don't take fees. But then I also just put my PayPal.me for those who want to donate. And thank you to those who actually already donated. I only set it up last night, and I woke up this morning and there were some donations. So thank you for that. It's going right to the vet on Monday. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I've got those set up now. So just two different ways, and it makes it easier for everyone. And then I don't have to worry about dealing with the issues with GoFundMe. But let's see. Yeah, Debbie, if you just go to my Ko-fi, it's like Kofi. I don't know how you say it because everyone says it different. But I've set it up. It's exactly like a GoFundMe. It's just less. They don't take a bunch of your money for fees, so it's a lot easier that way. Because I didn't like what I found researching GoFundMe, and yeah, so I was just like, so. I've set those up, but I did put them in the description of here, and I think Nightbot will say something. But I don't want anyone to ever feel obligated to donate anything to me, because honestly, just the nice comments and messages you all have sent have honestly helped me more than like anything else just because yeah, it's not been a real fun time. um yeah, you can pay to Ko-fi or whatever with PayPal. So they're linked. But if for those who, because I had a few that asked if they could just send it direct to PayPal, so I said just use my PayPal.me link instead. But yeah, like I said, the nice, sweet messages honestly help a ton because it's been a rough week. It's only been a week too. That's what really blows. I'm like, it's only been a week. Oh my god, so much more time to go. Let's see. Uh, Pops out of the woodwork every once in a while. Oh, I'm sorry, Claire. I just don't understand why, like, I just don't get why people are mean, like, at all. Like, it just, I don't get it. Trolls, like, the internet. And that's a sucky thing with being on YouTube. You are out there just like, right in the open. But I just hate when people feel like that they should just be so vicious. And I did forward the emails that had literal death threats in them to the police officer that's working on our case for the dogs. So he'll be looking into those because I was like, dude, I'm getting death threats and I don't really need that right now. So it's just dumb. Oh, thanks, Emily. And hi, I didn't see you come in. But yeah, feel free to share the links if you want. But again, I don't want people to feel they have to donate to my dog's cause. Like I'm really like I don't know how to put it, embarrassed that we have to ask for help, but it's just like I'm about to lose my job and if that wasn't hanging there just, over my head, I would have been like whatever, I'll suck it up. But since I'm about to lose my job, I'm like we're not really in the position to just keep paying this. But I hate asking for help. So it's like it's one of those awkward things. Yeah, I got death threats. They were nice, real nice. I only read one, and then my friend, when she went through my inbox, found the others and forwarded them to the deputy for me because I was just like, I can't read these. I'm really sick to my stomach as it is. So all I can say is Starbucks is getting a lot of my attention right now because I'm not sleeping and I'm like, I need the comfort of my white mocha. Like, how sad is that? Let's see. I know I shouldn't feel embarrassed, but it can just be embarrassing, like it's just one of those, it's awkward. Plus there's always that stigma because there's sometimes people set up those GoFundMe's for like, not like a legit purpose or it just I don't know. I feel yeah, I do feel embarrassed and like I said, if I wasn't about to lose my job, I would just be like, "Oh, whatever." But every day is like this has been a bad month. Can we just erase March and let's just go like move on to April? Like uh I'd like to move into April if anyone else is with me. Can we just like make a boycott worldwide that March is done? Like just over. That's my goal. Because so far March is not gonna look peachy for me. So I'm like, yep, I would like to hit up April and see if that's better. And then at least in April there will be like no more snow, I think. I don't know. We've got some wacky weather out here, but I am over the snow, and I live in a freaking state where their slogan is "Best snow on earth." So that was really my fault, but let's see. Hi, Tristan. Yeah, Emily. Yeah, we need April. I've heard some people like my sister lives in Northern California, but where she lives, like they get like a little sprinkle of snow and they cancel school normally. But they've had so much snow. she had to evacuate because the roofs out there aren't built to hold the snow like they are here. And her rooftop was bowing. She was out of power. I mean, what's up with all this March snow? We're getting dumped on today, right now. So that's why my lighting might be a little wacky, but I'm too lazy to fix it. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Danielle. So yeah, I know. So where you live, they have different laws about shooting animals. I live in what's considered agricultural and rural, you know, areas. So a person can shoot an animal if they say it's threatening their livestock. But that's kind of where this story gets bonkers because he said that my dog attacked his chickens, but his chickens are fine. And I will tell you right now, if my dog wants a chicken, dead, it'll be dead. like that, my dogs don't just go, but that was his excuse, and that is the law. So he was allowed to get away with it on that front. But that's why animal control is involved because they can reverse the law if and he will get in trouble for shooting domestic animals and not reporting it because that's a law. So at least he's got that, but I doubt he'll do much else because, well, welcome to the world. Let's see. If you don't ask for help, you could be depriving others of the joy of giving. Oh, I mean that is true, PJB. You're gonna make me cry, woman. Don't make me cry on live stream. I start coughing and get really all like congested. But no, that's actually a very good statement, actually. Um, we are like asking, and the neighbors are petitioning that he fence his property because other neighbors out here who don't even own huskies, their dogs get out because we all have farmland. I mean, our dogs roam. So we are doing a petition to force him to at least fence if he's going to be so, you know, happy with the weapons there. um, I don't know if it'll do anything, but at least we tried. Hi, Color Me Calm. Yeah, so the indie's doing good. Harper's just the one we're worried about. So I'll know more Monday what's up with poor little Harper, but ugh, that poor puppy, because I just rescued her. It's like, oh, rescued you from being put down at the shelter, and then this is what you get now. I'm sure she's really happy that I rescued her now, right? Well, we'll see. I know dogs don't think that way, but that's how I feel. I'm like, oh, geez, thanks, lady, for rescuing me. Let's see. Loathe asking, but love giving. Yeah, see, that's kind of how I am, Claire. I really, really hate asking, but I absolutely love to give. Like it brings me joy to give, but asking just really, I don't know. Just really, Oh, I love Pyrenees. A couple of our neighbors have them, and they're beautiful dogs. Gorgeous, gorgeous dogs. Well, and that's the problem. A lot of dogs will go for chickens because, well, it's an easy target, and sometimes they're just curious. I mean, chickens are fascinating to dogs. Can you blame them? They're making all these noise, flapping wings. It's just, I don't know. And dogs do know what chicken tastes like. They eat dog food, so it's just natural for an animal to be curious. And a lot of animals have natural prey drives that you can't train out of them. So it's just, yeah. Let's see. may have to give this one a little second coat. I have to get a cough drop. Yeah, we've already seen the vet's the vet orthopedic, which is really weird. I didn't even know that career field existed. Like I was kind of like caught off guard when they said the orthopedic surgeon had to look at Harper, and I'm like, they have orthopedic surgeons for dogs, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised, right? But she had an operation last Monday to remove the shrapnel and bone fragments from her leg. In my Discord, I did share pictures of like the x-rays and stuff so you guys can see like how absolutely nuts it is, but I can't post them on my community tab or anything. And like I said, I'm avoiding posting that just so I don't get any more hate emails or, worse threats. But yeah, it's just crazy. Excuse me. Oh, but one good thing is well, good for her, but I felt bad because we didn't really give her a lot of attention. But Scout, her birthday was on March 9th, so she's 3 now. She acts like she's 40, but she's 3. Scout the Husky, my channel mascot. She had her birthday a couple days ago. That sweet little thing. It's nuts that she's already 3 because I still remember her as just like a clumsy, floppy, like husky just waltzing around, but she's a goober. We did, my daughter made her a doggy-friendly birthday cake, and we're giving her that for her breakfast this morning. I don't know how good doggy-friendly birthday cakes taste. I'm not like gonna go eat it, but they don't have any of the things that I would want in my birthday cake, so. Eskies or Mama Eskies? I'll try to remember that. I know, I don't know why. People just said it was my fault the dogs got out, and so I should be the one punished, and, I should deserve the same treatment they got, so I'm trying to avoid using the words because I don't want YouTube to flag me, but because who knows what they'll flag you for, but yeah, that was kind of like the gist of it, and I was just like, okay, cool. Thanks. Let's see. Brought I can't even say that. Braunschweiger? What is that? Oh, known as liverwurst. I wonder, I've never actually like gone shopping for liverwurst, but I know they have it out here. We just finally got Harper to eat kibble. That was a miracle. Like she was on a bland diet and she would only eat boiled chicken, but I was like, you're not. Like our problem is Harper was already underweight from the shelter, so we've been struggling to get some meat on her. And yeah, she's not exactly gaining weight right now. Let's see. Yeah, our trainer is gonna work with our dogs. I'm actually supposed to start working with him soon. We were supposed to start that this week, but obviously, like, I had to put a little bit of a pause on that. So, hopefully, I can get to dog training with him soon. But we'll see. So much to do as adults, right? There's already so much on our plate. Why do we have to have other crap come around? Like work, raising kids, dealing with your house, that's all stressful enough. Why is the world gotta make it more stressful? I want to go back to being like 12, and my biggest problem is that my mom said I had to turn off the TV. Like I want that to be the drama of my life. So, but has anyone been reading any good books lately? I've been reading, I've been working on my novel. In fact, right before I started this live stream, I was sitting there writing down a bunch of, because like I had an aha moment. And so I started writing down a quick plot um, summary of my novel. I'm a pantser. I don't actually plan my novels, but I do give it like a good like one page summary of like this is where I think it's gonna go, but I leave it open because I want it to develop. So yeah, I was working on that. In fact, right before we started streaming, I was like, oh, and then ideas kept coming, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't have a bunch while I'm streaming, but I do want to get working on that. Oops, there's these tiny little doodads right there. Hidden pictures. I haven't heard of that one. Let's see. Oh, they knew it was your dog. Yeah, I mean everyone knows Scout in our neighborhood because Scout did have her time where she used to escape, but she doesn't anymore. But everyone knew her. She was like famous. They're like, "Oh, you're Scout's owner," because they would know her but not know who owned her, even though my number was on her. Um, but yeah, she's the famous husky. Uh, oh, I'm sorry to hear that about the impact statements. Um, yeah, I've been trying to read just to distract myself. Um, I finished The Silent Patient not too long ago, which was a really good book. I was just like, oh my gosh, I love this book. And then I want to start the new Stephen King one, but I don't know if I'm ready because that thing's long, really long. But I've also been just reading through all of the Game of Thrones books. Yes, I know they're not called Game of Thrones books, but most people identify them as that. And I've been reading through those too. Uh, these pictures that seem to tell this interesting. Ooh, that might be a fun one to read. Yes, you do need hugs, Mama Eskies. You do need hugs. I would hug you. We can virtual hug. I'm gonna have to look up the name of that book though, because that one looks. I love thrillers. Oh my gosh, put a thriller in my hand and I'm all over it. I read a really bad one the other day though. I was like, ugh. I got halfway through and I was like, this is so tacky. Why is this rated #1 on New York bestseller? Ugh. But it seems like every book it claims it's #1, and I'm like, was it #1 for like a day? I just don't understand. I don't understand the rating system. Oh, they have the pictures in the books. Oh, let me know what you think of that new Brandon Sanderson one. Okay, so I tried to read his Mistborn, and I was in the first book of Mistborn series, and at first I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. But for some reason, I started to get really bored and it lost my interest. So I didn't finish that one and I have like zilch desire to go back to it. So I don't know. For some reason that one I was really bummed because I wanted to read through his series, and I don't know, I might do the Shadow and Bone trilogies. I've heard a lot of good stuff about those. But so much to read, so little time. Because right now it's like I have to decide with my my limited time, am I going to color? Am I going to read? Am I going to work on my own novel? Am I going to diamond paint? Because I have a diamond painting that has legit been sitting they're slowly working on since Christmas, and this is getting kind of pathetic. I need to finish it. And it's not because I don't want to. I really want to. It's a Mystic Art Mirrors one. It's just like I sit down to work on it and I get called away, or I just can't. I don't know. I can't sit there long enough. First world problems, right? Let's see. Emily says, you should try Mistborn Audible. It's easier to get through. Maybe I'll try that then. Because reading it, I wanted to tear my hair out. I was like, this book is not moving. It's not moving. And like a fantasy book is, they're usually longer, but you're so engrossed in it. Whereas this one, I'm like, it's just like, I'm done. I can't do it. But I do have Audible, and I have a credit coming up, so maybe I'll buy that and give it a whirl. Like, my favorite genres for reading are fantasy, but fantasy is number 2. My number 1 is like thriller mystery books. I've always been a big fan of those since I was younger. I have read every James Patterson book, especially the Alex Cross series. So I just loved those things. That's what I grew up on, literally, because he's been writing them for like flipping years. But that's my number 1. And then I love fantasy. I can't do young adult, like super young adult ones. I'm just like, I need some maturity. Let's see. Sharon, can the watercolors you're using work on? Yeah. So these aren't watercolors. These are Neocolors. So like, as you can see, it's not bleeding through. And I didn't even put a protector page here because, well, I'm lazy. So, yeah, these Neocolors don't bleed. If the paper's thick enough, if you've got some, cheaper paper, put a protector, but yeah, I wouldn't worry much about that. I wanted to take his master class, actually, but I'm actually taking Brandon Sanderson's class right now. He is an amazing teacher, Brandon Sanderson. Oh my gosh, he's so funny, and he's from Utah. Just never pictured that. I was like, this man was born and bred here? No. It's just weird. Let's see. Brandon's can start slow, but everything he sets up at the beginning. Yeah, so that makes sense, like that he's setting it all up, but I think that's where I got bored. I was like, the setup phase, you're just like, oh my God, I need some action in here, like somewhere, so I can like justify getting through it. I will put links to everything I end up using in today's stream in the description when I'm done streaming. So here we have, this was just the 2 Neocolors. So this is aubergine and lilac for the Neocolors. Now it is a little damp still, but what I think I'm going to do, because that aubergine, I only did 1 coat, is not as dark as like say it would be on like see how much darker it is right here. I may go back in and do a second coat, but I want this to dry first so I don't like completely pill my paper. But what I'm going to do is move on to another page while this one's drying, and then we can, if we have time, come back. But let's see, what should we start next? I need to put this somewhere where it doesn't get smushed. Okay. Kind of want to do, let's see. I have so many PDFs that I want to get done. I think both of these, I think I'm going to work on this one. Let me see. Where's my pan pastel thing at? Yeah, I want to do this one. This is a Yana Prosperina page. It's from her Flower Fairies coloring book. This is Dahlia. I just colored it with Prismas, like super simple palette, honestly. Like these are some of my favorite Prisma combos. But let me see which pan pastels I want to use. I need to swatch my pan pastels because I haven't filled a lot in. But what I want to do is I want to use, sorry for the cough. Wow, isn't that awesome to hear in your ear, right? Me coughing. I think I'm going to do the pearlescent ones because they have a shimmer. Let me grab these real quick. Hang on. Okay. Honestly, guys, 40 count Neos is more than enough. You really don't need the big set of Neos. If you can't afford it, I promise you, you'll get through life just fine because you can mix them on a palette. But I really want to use these pearlescents. So I'm actually going to mix all 4 of those. So I'm going to do the violet, the pink, the blue, the green. So I get my tools. All right. I think I already have one that's already set for that. If you're working with pan pastels, have a brush always. And don't inhale. These things can get really dusty. Like, just don't go breathing them in. All right. Is that the right? Double check. Yeah, for the green. It's so amazing. Like, if you look at these, right? So this is the pearl green I'm, using, but it's so much darker right here. But the light, these have a very light shimmer to them, and it's really pretty. So I think I'll stick to those 4 colors. And it's funny because the red is red, but oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna axe the pink because I got enough pink here. So we're gonna go with the 3. That's how it's gonna work today. So let me get, and all I'm gonna do here is kind of have them go all around. And I'm just gonna use my light pressure. But I want it to just look nice and misty. Hi, Gina. Hi, Yasmin. Welcome, welcome. Gosh, this congestion is never going to go away. I mean, the doctor said it will, but I don't believe him. Get the purple around here. Oh, yeah, I like that color. If you get enough of these, like on there, concentrated enough, you will get the pearlescent, like little shimmer, but you'll only see it to yourself. Like, it's really hard to capture on camera. But it does look really pretty. No worries, Pearl. Yes, I've been trying not Zycam, but they gave me something similar to Zycam. And it's like, I don't know. I'm constantly like blowing my nose and coughing. It's not a pretty sight. And then people, of course, look at you like, oh my gosh, shouldn't you be wearing a mask? You probably got like the plague. I'm like, no, I've just been sick forever. And what I plan to do when these, so when I do pan pastels, right, I put them down I make sure I like the pattern, the color. Let me zoom you guys in because you can't see the color as well. So like I like the I make sure the colors are set, and then I will spray it with a final fixative, and then I'll go back and add things. And like with this one in particular, I'm gonna add fairy dust. But I can't do that till I've sprayed them with a final fixative. Otherwise, when I go to paint on my fairy dust, they're just going to disperse along with it. So when I'm using pan pastels, I use Grumbacher. You don't have to use that one, by the way. I'm just telling you what I use. I have Krylon as a final fixative, but I like the Grumbacher. It works really well on pastels. And they don't sit there and transfer or anything. Okay. So these pearlescent ones come in a set, and then you can buy others in sets. But I mean, technically, you can buy a whole big, collection. But my thing is, I'm not going to use every color. Oops. So I just buy the colors I actually plan to use, and I knew I wanted all the pearlescents. I've been thinking of getting the metallics. I'm just not quite sure yet. Does anyone have the metallic ones, like the silver, bronze, and all that? And like, do you guys like them? I think they're actually called light gold, rich gold, silver, and stuff. But I'm curious if anyone likes them or has had a good experience. This is gonna be all soft and fluffy here, but I will take pictures after the stream so you can see it a little better. Let's go in here. And then I always go in light because you can just build them up. But these are erasable, so if I get on the pencil, I'm not too worried about it because I can use my kneaded eraser and pull it off before I spray my fixative. Let's see, I saw some questions. I do have gelatos, and I think the Lana green one I want to do with gelatos. But this one here, I just pictured the shimmery colors of these pan pastels. And then I was going to add, let me grab, where's the paint at? Hi, Shannon. All right. Yeah, so what I was going to do is, like I'll have my pan pastels all over, and then I'm going to come back with this hologram extreme glitter and just like put it all over the back. So it's just like she's dancing in a freaking sparkle land. You do like the metallics? That's actually good to know because I was kind of curious on those. Oh, no worries. Rainbow Kitten, get some sleep. Let's see it. Have I read No Exit? Who writes that one? I haven't read that one. I really need to I've been trying to add them all to my Amazon list so I don't forget the names. Because people tell me and I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. And then I go to after a stream or something, write it down and I'm like, oh crap, what was that thing again? Let's see. Making sure I'm just not missing anything. Hi, Marilyn. I think we all have supplies that don't get used due to lack of time. You're not alone in that department. I'm actually going to do my pencil collection video soonish. I'm not going to promise dates anymore because my life is not my own. It belongs to my dogs now. But I'm going to talk about the ones I actually use versus the ones I don't and why. And I'll probably be doing a nice pencil destash. But yeah, I've got way too many supplies and I just don't have time to use them. But at the same time, I don't want to get rid of them because I want to use them one day. But I'm like, when's that one day going to happen? So, like, if it's a supply that can last, I'll keep it. But if it's not, I'm like, ugh. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying to think. Oh, like pit pastels, right? I bought pit pastels and I used them once. But the reason for that is the scratchy sound. That's what's getting me is the scratchy sound. um Anytime like I go to use them and you just hear them scratch on the paper, I'm really sensitive to that sound. It reminds me of a like, chalkboard. And so I just get like all tingly and nauseous and I want to try the Stabilo ones and see if they're actually like not as scratchy as people say. But yeah, that's an example of a medium that's just sitting there used once for swatching and once for a background and then never again. Yeah. So Emily, when you find a balance, create a whole like master class for us all to take on the ways of how to balance it all. I'll pay money, don't worry. Share your life hacks. I told my husband, I was like, life would be easier if like the kids were at school all day, I quit my job, and everyone just left me alone. I get so much done. I hope you guys can see it. It's like not showing as, let me see if I can adjust my camera because it's actually really colorful on my end. And right now it's like, phew. Yeah, I need you to start that right now, Emily, because like I need it. Let's see. See if this, I don't want to go, oh, no, we don't want to go that crazy. Don't you love when you're sitting here with your camera just having to fix all these little settings? All right, I'm going to leave it there, but that's not quite accurate. You just now started your coffee? Oh my. I wouldn't be live streaming if there wasn't coffee in me. Like I woke up in a panic because I already lost an hour of my day thanks to time change. I was like, I need to drink coffee. Oh, her cute little legs. Isn't this just the prettiest picture? And I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about my my coloring. I'm talking about the artist's work. So just putting that out there. I'm not being conceited like, oh my god, did I color this so cool? I'm talking to her artwork. Like this page is just breathtaking. I'm just like, I love her art. I really do. I wanted to color more for February, but February was just, yeah, it's too short. Can't do anything. Oh no, fever. Ugh. Has anyone else's kids been sicker this winter than like normal? Because mine have. My son that never gets sick, he caught the flu. And like the kid never gets sick. Like I took him to that tournament in Park City. I caught COVID. He was totally fine. And then yeah, he got a flu in February, and that's what I'm still recovering from. It's like for Pete's sake. Oh, hi Tanya. Yeah, it's just nuts how sick everyone's been in my house. And then it's like a cycle. We all get over it and then someone restarts the cycle and you're like, ugh. We all need to just separate within our household for a few months. Just live amongst one another but not actually interact. Right here. And like I have Lysoled more things than I ever want to Lysol. Yeah, Ko-fi, whatever, they don't take fees. So that's why I moved it over there. Um, so they're feeless as it is. They only take fees if you're selling stuff on your shop, but they don't for donations. So that's why I like their platform model a lot more. Yeah, I'm just mixing between these blues, trying not to inhale them though. So the blue, the purple, it's called pearlescent violet, pearlescent blue, pearlescent green. I'm just kind of going through. I need some more. I need purple here. Let's see. Oh, Durham went light fast. Yeah. I put that like pull out, or not a pull, but like, hey, what's your favorite, 6 pencils or sets if you had to pick? And like I wanted to put Derwent Lightfast on there. I just I went with basically what I used the most, and I really love Lightfast. I do. I just don't use them a bunch because every time I go to sharpen them, like a little part of my soul dies with it. I'm just like, you know what I mean? You're like, oh. But I love the Light Fast. I love the Light Fast more than the Luminance, but I do like using them together. It's just if you made me choose between those two, I would go the Light Fast. But I definitely use my Prismas the most, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a bucket full of them. Yeah, I know quite a few people like the whatchamacallit, it's the Chroma Flow. And I need to start playing with them a little more. It's just I haven't had time. I've been trying to play around with the Arctics more because I know, like, they're new, everyone loves them, and I'm like, why do I hate these things so much? Like, it's I honestly think it's the filler or something. Something's turning me off, and I just can't tell you what it is yet. But I'm trying to color pages with them just to figure out why I don't like them so that when I do a review, I can be like, okay, here's why I can't stand these things. But it's like, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably what it is, Shannon. I'm a Prisma girl and everyone keeps comparing them to my babies. And I'm like, I hate you, Arctics. But it's like, yeah, I do get snarky when people say that they're Prisma alternatives. I'm like, no, they're not. And I say it in a nice way, but I'm like, they don't smoosh. They don't have the smoosh. They don't just glide across your page and turn anything into something pretty. And until they do that. But yeah, I do love Prisma, so it's hard to beat those. See, I see all the little glitter flecks. I wish they would show up on camera for people because they're so cute. Let's see, Debska sent them back. Yeah. The Chroma Flow colors, they're unique, but I just feel like the palette they released was incredibly unbalanced considering how few they released. I think they should have put different colors in there and then added some of the ones that they did create later. But that's just kind of, I always look at the full palette and ask myself, like, is this balanced enough? What could I create with this? Now, you guys know I don't like to sit there and layer for days because, yes, I know how to create colors. I just don't want to create colors. That's why I buy pre-mixed watercolors. I know how to do it. I know color theory. I just don't want to do it. So that's my thing. I'm like, I don't want to sit here and mix these colors that I feel are lacking. I want them already there. go. Yeah, Derwent Drawing, if they released a larger line of pencils, I don't know why they haven't. Like, I've reached out to Derwent and they haven't really gotten back to me. They just keep talking about ChromaFlow, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not asking about that. I'm asking about these because the Derwent Drawing are beautiful pencils. Like, it's like they're wasting an opportunity because I would buy a big set of those in a heartbeat. I just ordered a few Chinese white because I really love those. Let's see. Yeah, I know a lot of people like the Derwent Drawing. Very creamy. When I say creamy, though, I'm not saying they're exactly like Prismacolor creamy. That's a whole different creamy. But I do mean that they just are luscious little things. And actually, I really do like the color palette of the Derwent Drawing, considering there's so few. It's still a really well-balanced palette, if you ask my opinion. So at least with pen pastels, I use Grumbacher. They have a fixative specifically for pastels. Oh, that's white right there. I was like, huh. So I use my Grumbacher, and that sets them really nice. You sometimes have to do 2 coats, it just depends. But the other thing is you have to like kind of gently brush away any of the loosies. Yeah, that's a word now. The loose powder, just to make sure it's not sitting there. Plus, you don't want it to clump up when the spray hits it. And usually, like, I'll do a light coat, then I'll come back and do another, and then it's ready to go. And the Grumbacher holds them really well, and it doesn't have like that gross like Krylon, smell. So that's the other thing I like. But Grumbacher is also meant for like if you're going to hang your pieces up. So if you're doing like full out artist pieces, then you definitely want to look and make sure. I have the let's see, no, I don't have the Derwent pastels. I have the Faber-Castell ones. The Pitt pastels. Getting those in there. Getting a little glitter buildup on my spongy. Excuse me. Hi, B and Crashly's evil twin brother. Ah, that's funny. I love the names. Let's see. We're almost filled in. It's just like sometimes I'll see like a white spot and then be like, oh crap, I missed it. And this one will be fun. The bummer about this background here is I've gotta spray it before I can do a lot of my other work. But at least that part's down. I mean, there are so many mediums out there that we can use to make backgrounds. It's nuts. And honestly, I don't use half of what I own, and I should. Let's get some blue there. But yeah, I love pan pastels. They used to be like the first go-to I would always use. And then I met gelatos. But it's because gelatos will dry, whereas pan pastel, you have to like seal it. Do I like my Craftimo? The Emma LaFave. Yeah, so I got box 2. I haven't shared it yet because life is not with me right now. But I will be sharing the box 2 soon. And then I think I need a little more purple here. So yeah, I am liking it. I haven't opened box 2, but the one thing I don't like about the Emma LaFave subscription box is, so box 2 is supposed to be like, Valentine's themed because it's a February box. And I got it on March 1st. So because the shipping takes so long to get out here, like anything that's seasonal or holiday themed is not going to be well, not going to match up with the time. So that part kind of irks me. But I know there's a few friends and subscribers that have it as well, but they live in different countries and they get theirs faster. So, because I saw someone post their box too at like the beginning of the month, and I'm like, hey, how'd you get that? Hi, Gina. Yes, I have the Mungyo pastels as well, the pearlescent ones. They're really fun and sparkly. Just patching up here and there. Totally did not hit anything right there. Let's go purple. Okay, thanks, Mama Eskies, for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your day and weekend. I'm hoping like the day doesn't go by fast for anyone, unless you want it to go by fast. But for me, I want it to go slow since, yeah, I'm like not ready for Monday. Okay. Let me pull this out real quick. It's like snowing and then it's not snowing. I mean, come on. Oops, wrong way. Sorry. All right, so we have, these are the pan pastels on here. Now, like I said, what I'm going to do is like, where's my, well, I'm not going to do it right now because my kneaded eraser is downstairs, but I didn't get a lot on it. So when you put pan pastels down, I usually go with a kneaded eraser and just kind of pick it up anywhere I did get it on the pencil. And I wish the shimmer would show because it's such a beautiful, like, fine shimmer. But my plan, let me grab, hang on, because I see a little bit of build up right there. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. We're just going to gently brush that off. Okay. So yeah, I'll take my kneaded eraser. I'll go through and like, pick up anything that's on the pencil. I'm going to spray it with my Grumbacher, which even though it's a final fixative, I can still go on top of it. And then my plan is to put this hologram glitter on her wings for sure. And then I'm just going to try and kind of trail it around and kind of just make it look, I mean, she's floating in the flippin' air, like sniffing dahlias. I want it to just look magical. So, and then I'll probably take a white gel pen. I have had like no luck with Poscas or off-brand Poscas or anything of that matter to outline in white lately. I'm getting a little frustrated, but that's what I'll do for that. But I have to spray this first. So we're going to pop her off to the side and let's work on a gelato background. Oops, nope, I don't want to put her over there. She's going to get smashed. Oh, okay. Let's see. I want it to go by fast until I'm off work. Yeah, see, I'm off work right now, but I won't be tomorrow. Okay. So let's do some gelatos because I think I pretty much always pictured, wow, I got to fix the coloring on her. Woo! I had to turn it up so you could actually see the color on the other one, but she don't need that. So we're just going to take that back down a little. Make her a wee bit normal. There we go. Okay. So with this one, I think I'm going to do gelatos because I've always kind of pictured it. Now, there's hearts here. So, ooh, what to do? Let me see what embossing powders I have. Where are my embossing powders? Oh, crapola. They're in my closet. But let's grab my gelatos for now. Yeah, so what I'm picturing here is I'm thinking of a gelato background, and then I am going to take my embossing and I am going to do some hearts with my embossing stamps. And then I have a really pretty white embossing powder that I think would work really well on top of that. So let's see what we got gelato-wise. I need to get my trusty crayon dash. All right, where's my test paper? I need that for testing that one out. Okay. So let's see what colors we can make here. I always forget I own embossing stuff. So color-wise, excuse me. Part of me wants to do purple, but I really want to just stick with pink. Because I just feel like, I mean, I have some really pretty purples, but I don't know. I want to go pink. So let's see. Let's see how this lavender looks. I don't want it to be like neon pink. Bubblegum might be too much. I'm going to see how that one works. So with gelatos, you have a bunch of different categories. You got metallics. You've got, like, see, this is a metallic one here. But then you've also got, like, your iridescence. And I'm kind of leaning towards the iridescent. So pink sapphire. The metallics can get pretty thick. Ooh. I don't know. That white one, maybe. I'll think on that one. I have way too many gelatos. Let's see. Sorry for the noise. I'm like literally going through a monster box of gelatos. So this is a pastel, but it might work because it's a pastel. So we're going to give it a chance along with, those ones are too bright. Let me see if I've got one more that I like. Oop, this one right here, rose. Okay. So I get that over. I'm going to test them on our test sheet first so I don't totally like foobar my page. So I need to get my brushes out. This one's way too dirty. Let's see. Sorry, I was catching up. So I'm using the Faber-Castell gelatos. Woo! I'm not sure on color yet. I'm going to swatch these out on the paper and see how I like how they look first, but we'll see. Do I use the cedar bristle brushes? I have like the stencil brushes, but I typically use the makeup brushes, which I have to grab because I didn't pull them out like the Smartie. I haven't swatched them yet. I've been trying to, but I only got so much time. I did, however, just find my Nuvo paste. I might put this on the fairy page that I just did pen pastels instead. Because this stuff is like shimmer on steroids, the Nuvo. All right. So let's see how these colors look. So I'm going to try Rose Quartz. It's an iridescent. I'm going to try Amethyst, which is an iridescent, but it's got kind of a purpley tinge. I'm going to do Pink Sapphire. And then I'm going to try this Pastel Watermelon just to see. Let's see. We got a pretty wide space, so I can get away with my wider brushes. But these are typically the brushes I use. Okay. I'm going to get these down and we'll see what we think. Okay, so this is the Pastel Watermelon. Ugh, even my gelatos are cold. Okay, so it's got like a peachy. Like I tried to use the stencil brushes that I know quite a few people use, but again, like the scratchy noise really gets to me. No problem, PJB. Have a good day. Yeah, I do. I have those stencil brushes. It's just I can't handle the scratchy sound. That's why I said, like, even with like pit pastels, I'm sitting there like, oh. Okay, I'm liking that pink already. I am. All right, let's see how this one looks. And again, I do apologize. I have to cough, clear my throat. It's just not going to go away. This one is really cold. I almost feel like I need to be a mother hen and sit on my freaking gelatos to warm them up. Like, wouldn't that be a fun live stream? Yep, okay, so I'm liking those two already. Those are going to go perfect. This one, not so much. So let me get you out of the way. Hi, Kathleen. Oh, no worries. Let's see how this one comes out. I do love their iridescent line. The metallics, I'm kind of on the fence on. All right, so this is the one that's a little bit more purpley, but oh, I do like that. Okay, so this is my gal. I'm not using this one because this peach is going to make her skin look like she's freaking glowing in not the right way. She's got like a faux tan. But yeah, I think I'm going to use these three and mix them up. So, okay. So we're going to use then the iridescent amethyst, iridescent pink sapphire, and iridescent rose quartz. So these actually you could all buy in a pack, and they'll come in the iridescent pack. So they come together as one. So let me get enough on my thing here. I probably will go back to bed after streaming, not to sleep, but just to lay there. Color, there's a page I'm working on. I really want to finish. And whatever I don't finish for backgrounds today, I'll try and either do a video or maybe I'll do another live stream like during the week in the evening, and kind of like finish some of these backgrounds up so you guys can see some of the features. I don't know. We'll see. Might have to just pre-record it. I can't make guarantees because I literally don't know how tomorrow will be after Harper goes to the vet. All right. And the nice thing is I'm using colors that are close enough to one another that I don't need to change brushes. So that's the big thing here. If your colors are not close and you don't want like those colors to mix together, then definitely swap your brushes. Okay, grab some purple. Oh, this purple one is like super stiff because it's so cold. Gelatos are sticky at first, but then they dry. I'm gonna have to get my smaller one to get in between her hairs. I don't care if I get that hair though. Oh, thanks, Kristen. I had fun with this. So all of this is Prisma. Her hair is either Black Widow or Derwent Pro Color. I went through a phase where only those pencils were downstairs with me. So it's like it's one of those. Oh, thanks, Melissa. Finally got my nails done again, so that was fun. And it was like literally an ordeal. I'm like, I don't know what nails to do. I don't want to do St. Patrick's Day nails because, well, St. Patrick's Day will be over soon. Yep, first world problems. Stressed about what nail color to pick. right. Just getting more of this on my palette because these are really cold right now. I love this color. It's like a really pretty one. Okay. All right. Back to it. Let's get this one. I'm trying not to accidentally pick up any of the green that I've also still got on my palette. I need to wash this palette. I'm not too worried right now about like inside these little areas because I have a smaller brush that I'll use for that. Like when I use the makeup brushes, I'm not using like a ton of pressure at all. It's really light. I use more pressure just to pick up the gelato off my thing here. The good news is the more of these I finish, the more pictures I can actually upload because that's all these are waiting for is backgrounds. I'm gonna stick my finger right in the wet gelato. I don't know about you guys, like it depends like how many layers of gelatos I use and whatnot, but you do have to wait for them to dry, and sometimes you want to like have to leave them overnight. Like I'd probably have to leave these overnight to do the embossing, but we'll see. And I just bought a bunch more Lana Green pages. Well, I shouldn't say just, it was last month, but because she just had so many cute ones I still didn't own. Just can't stop buying hers. They're so pretty. Very talented. All right, let me get my small brush. Oh, you don't need fancy pencils to color, I promise. There's people that'll use Crayolas and make freaking masterpieces. It's all about just understanding like where to put your color, and I'm still learning that. I mean, like I struggle quite a bit with like coming up with combos I like because I tend to just go back to what I already know and I don't branch out. So it's a habit I need to work on. Let's see. Oh, the Beauty and the Beast image. That one was really cute. Or is, I should say. It's still out there. I'm using my little one. Just get in there. Come on. Gotta wiggle that color in. I haven't gotten the Colors of the World yet. It was on my to-do list. I need to. I just want, because I kind of want to like see what's missing, you know? All right, there we go. Oh, I got one here in her hair I need to get. And I can go back to the whole page. Okay, let me get this one. Where do you get your blending tools? So these are just, back in the day, they used to call them makeup brushes, but now more people use them for inking and blending. So you could actually just look up inking blending brushes and you'll get tons of options. But yeah, I mean, before most people used them for like makeup and stuff, but they've realized that the crafting community, including like card makers and stuff, use them. So it's easier to find, but there's tons on Amazon. I have 2 different packs, but I looked out and they were all black handled still. So they look like the same pack, but they're 2 different ones. Okay. There we go. I don't have a Five Below near me, But I've heard that's a great place to go for some, like, quite a few craft things too. And I always hear stories about how people get like their King Art gel crayons for super cheap at like TJ Maxx, and I don't luck out that way. I never find them. Like, darn it. So I finally just caved and paid the Amazon price a couple months ago to finish out my King Arts. All right. I know. It's the problem with Amazon. It's like, why leave the house when I can push this cute little orange button and it shows up at my door? Hi, CB. I haven't been buying much lately because I'm like, I need to use all this stuff I have. But like, I haven't bought the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I've heard quite a few people like them, but then I've also heard like almost an equal number hate them. So I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I'm on the fence on that one. Like, some people say they're really scratchy and not worth it, and other people said they're really good. So I wish they had like just an open stock one I could buy and test and see what I think before I go pay that outrageous price for a set. Hi, Mona. Yeah, I have heard about them not being like they're pretty muted, but I don't know. Like I said, I hear like, because there'll be people that are like, oh, these are the greatest. And then other people will say like, oh, these are like the worst things I've ever used. So it's one of those products where you're like, I'm going to try this for myself one day. Not today. One day. Okay. Let's see. The gelatos, you always got to make sure. I'm going to get some more up there. Oh, that sucks when you're excited and you swatch them, and then it's kind of like that was kind of how I felt the first time I bought Pablo's. I was like, everyone says these are so great. These are going to be amazing. This was years ago though. But I went and swatched them and I was like, I hate these things. And then funny enough, I bought them a few years later and I loved them. So I don't know what happened there, but maybe I had a bad batch. I don't know. Maybe my coloring style changed. It's so hard to say. Different seasons of life. Oh, how funny, Shannon. Did you record it? I want to hear him singing. That's funny. Oh, I got a white spot right there. Oh, no, you lost your debit card. That's the worst. Oh my gosh, I remember the last time my husband lost his. I was like, listen, man, you do this again, I'm going to have to hurt you, because it's like such a pain in the butt. You gotta go cancel everything, get a new one, and then but the cool thing is, I don't know if your bank does that, but my bank now, I didn't know this, but you can actually walk in and they can just print the card, like the brand new replacement card now. I'm like, whoa, what is this, like witchcraft? It's pretty cool. Let's see, I'm seeing, what's funny is it looks white here, but it's not in person, but maybe I'll just deepen it up a little. Don't want any white spots. But yeah, he had lost his and they just went in and printed it. And I was like, that's nuts. I didn't know they could do that now. Because back in the day, you'd have to wait like 2 weeks to get your card in the mail. No, swatching isn't the same as coloring, but you can tell quite a bit from a pencil just swatching it. And you get kind of a feel for like how it's, my problem is when I swatched my Pablos, they were really scratchy, like really scratchy. And people were telling me that they were soft and creamy. I always put quotes for creamy because I'm like, but yeah, like I was told they were really creamy. So when they were super scratchy, I was like, wait, what's going on? What did I miss? But who knows? Like I did order that set of First Pablos from Amazon. So Amazon could have just been selling a bad batch, fake batch. I had ordered the second set directly from Blick to purposely make sure there was no issue like that. And the second set was great. So you never know. Swatching. I love swatching. It's so therapeutic. Come on, Tanya. Swatch. It's awesome. All right. I think we've got enough color on here. So yeah, it's just those three colors with tinge of purple. One is like seriously like a rose gold. And then we've got one that's nice and pink, but it's gonna be, I want to make like these sparkle. Where's my thing at? I need a brush I don't care about. I always laugh though because everyone's so different. Like some of us, we love our swatching. Some of us don't, and I totally get it. Swatching for me though is like therapy. Like seriously, if someone said, "Hey, would you sit down and just re-swatch like every pencil you own?" I would do it. I would. So I'm just putting this Nuvo paste on some of these. Add some sparkle. I would normally do this with my rubber tipped thingamajig, but I can't find it, so I have to use a brush and just kind of clump it on there. The Nuvo, you really shouldn't paint on, you should dab. Otherwise, you're just gonna not get any sort of result. Doesn't want to join the swatching club. I tried to use my pencils without swatches, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to see the color. But that just means Tanya can see the color and picture it and does it just fine without it. So it's a talent. Because I've seen plenty of people who don't swatch and they can just picture the color and get it done. And I'm like, how do you do that? I need to see it swatched. Okay, I'm making all these frosting drops. Glittery. Of course, my camera won't show it because why would it? Got a nice little dollop of Nuvo. This stuff is so fun and so shimmery. Get that in there. Ooh, I like it. I gotta rinse that off though. So my brush. No talent. Okay, you're not supposed to say no talent. You're supposed to say it's totally talent. Come on. Be like, yeah, I can totally predict them. Oh, now my lid doesn't want to go on. I saw a question. Yeah, I probably am one of those people that buy pencils just to swatch them. Honestly, don't want to use them, but I want to swatch them. I don't know if the Nuvo, can you see that Nuvo glitter? Come on, we don't have a lot of good lighting today, but just see all those deep sparkles? Oh, it's seriously, it's like glitter just spewed out everywhere. All right, let me see. This isn't dry enough to stamp. But what I will be using is, if I can find it. This is where you hear everything crash out of my desk or something. Okay. I'll just grab the new one. So this is my Versamark. This is what I'll be using with a couple different heart stamps. And then I'll be placing hearts all over. And I'll make a separate video for that because I need the gelatos to dry. And I want to show you guys how I do that. But yeah, I'll just be taking this with different stamps and then putting the embossing powder over it. And I think it'll look really, really cute that way. So that's my plan for this one. But the pink works. And I kind of want to just get like a bunch of embossed, cute, sparkly things. And it's just going to be a white embossing powder. I think it'll look good that way. But I do like how that looks so far with those 3 colors. Let's see. Excuse me. For other one here. Pull that one out. So for you guys who use gelatos, how long does it normally take you guys for yours to dry? Or like, do you notice, like, because mine, it'll depend. Excuse me. Like sometimes it'll take a couple hours. There's been times where I'm like still touching it and it's tacky like a day later. I've just noticed like it's not very consistent on dry time. And if there's a secret to making them dry faster, I would really like to know. But yeah, I'll do a separate video so you guys can see, because this is just too tacky to stick on right now, but it'll be super cute. She'll have sparkly, glittery hearts, and then I'll be doing this, combining February and March together. So it won't really be Marchy, but whatever. All right, I need to put her over here to dry. Let's see. Depends on weather and the color. That would be a good test to run, like just swatching them all down and being like, okay, what brand and what color, like, because you know how Faber-Castell has iridescence and all that, like which one dries better, and faster. So with this gal, what happened with this one, mine dry fast, but I only do 1 or 2 layers. That makes sense. Kristen got ink tints. Ooh, I love ink tints. So with this one, this is in Flora. So it's a nice thick paper. Like I said, I had started the background in pencil, erased it because I was like, this is dumb. Why are you doing this? These are Brute Funer squares. So oil-based. Yes, I know pencils are made of both. We're not debating that today. But more, predominant oil pencils erase better. However, the Brutes tend to stain a little there. So I have to cover them with something a little bit more opaque than I would normally do. Like, because I was originally going to go in with Distress ink, but this is not gonna play nice. However, I did think of my watercolor pencils because they might be fun. I've got a lot of watercolor pencils because I got to finish the watercolor pencil battle. So, I'm debating between, let's see, I could do my museum aquarelles because these are quite opaque. Now, I don't know if the person who asked me about these is in the stream today or if they rewatch it. There's a common misconception about aquarelles. So it's not like if you're comparing these to Albrecht Dürer, you got to keep in mind these are light fast, obviously quality pigments, but so are Albrecht Dürer, just not the same light fast. However, these were actually designed to be opaque. So like with watercolor pencils, you got to think of them almost like when you're buying tubes of watercolor. Are they an opaque pigment or are they a transparent pigment? Are they a staining pigment? You have to keep that in mind. And unfortunately, that information is not always as readily available as it would be on a watercolor tube. So definitely keep that in mind. These are designed to be opaque, but you can water them down. But I just want to clarify that because if you look at these swatches and then you compare them to Albrecht Dürer, you might be thinking, well, what the heck? These are just super pigmented. No, these are just, they have some opacity to them. And yes, quality pigments, but don't make that think that the other brands can't be just as luscious. So I think I might use these now that I went on a tangent about it. But, oh, the colors. It's going to be a night scene because she's got lights coming from her windows. I actually really hate how this page turned out. So I need I want to do a nice dark background, and then I'm going to put my my gold glitter on top of it, which is this one. I'll either use this glitterific one. It's starting to dry out though already. I'm getting kind of bummed. I'm gonna have to revive it. But I'm either gonna put this all over and kind of make it look like, this is the starry background, or I have the Mod Podge ones that are just as glittery. But let me grab my box toys real quick. Oh my gosh. I need to buy a 12-foot Dex. Okay. So I keep my museum aquarelles in the box because, well, look at that. They're just too pretty to not. Now we may not finish this one on here today, but I'll get it started. So what I was going for originally was a purple and blue. So I'm definitely going to pull my violet. Where are you, Violet? Oh, you're periwinkle. You're not going to do. Okay, we got a violet. I want my Prussian blue. Oops, sorry guys, I hit the whatchamacallit for my thing there. Oh, they're on the second tray. Okay, so we got our Prussian blue. I just love the packaging these come in. It's justifies the price. All right. I want some periwinkle. Okay. And then I want something, the night blue might work. Where's my night blue? That's going to be this. Yep. Okay. So we're going to try that. I don't want to mix pink in because I want it to be really dark. But I think the periwinkle blue will have enough of that pinkish tinge. Okay. So, grab my handy dandy trusty test sheet. So for my background for this one, again, we're doing the aquarelles. If you don't have aquarelles, you could always use Albrecht Dürer. You don't have to have these at all. I'm going to do the Prussian blue, periwinkle blue, violet, and night blue. So let's see how. I don't want to touch my Gelatos. Seriously, these things just melt so easily. Okay. And you don't have to put a lot of these down either on paper. You don't have to layer and layer because, like I said, they're meant to be more opaque. And then we've got, this is the Prussian. I think that palette will work really well because I wanted some purple to bring in the purple flowers. So let's see what we get out of this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with the lightest color so I don't totally taint my brush here. See, look how bright these get when you just dabble water on them. It's insane. Look at that. Ah! It's nuts. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now this one is leaning a little bit where I don't want it to go. That's night blue. But I don't want to go lighter. We're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. Because you know what? If it doesn't work, I can cover it in glitter and no one will know. Well, except you guys. Because you will have witnessed it not working. But it'll be our secret. So, let's get my cough drop on here. Let's see. Okay. Does anyone here have the aquarelles? I do need to put a paper behind here. Hi, Irene. Oh gosh, 4:20. Wow, it's early. So I'm just using these. It's hard, barely picks up on camera. It's a 12 by 12 plastic sheet. I like to tuck these in when working with watercolor pencils, simply because they can sometimes lift up. And then I just need to get some tape down. You have them, Cheryl. Kelly has them. I'm always curious, like if it's one that many colorists own, because I don't do a lot of tutorials with them because I don't know how many people actually buy them. I mean, they are nice, but again, these are kind of one of those products you'll notice there's a love-hate. Some people will really, really love them, and other people will hate them, kind of like the Tim Holtz thing. So it's like you almost have to take the plunge. But because these are so expensive, I would buy some open stock and then just decide for yourself if you want to keep going. You have them, Carol. I like them. Like I said, they're really opaque, but I like them. I do. And you don't have to put them straight on paper if you're nervous about that. I'm just lazy. You can totally put them on a palette first. You can also take right off the tip. All right, my washi tape is being dumb, but I need to tape this down simply because I don't want to accidentally do anything crazy on the corners. Okay. You know what, Stacy? I actually really like the Derwent watercolor pencils. And they get such a bad rap. And I don't know why, because I love them. All right. Let me get these in order of darkest to lightest. So I've got my Prussian here. I've got my night blue. I've got my periwinkle violet. Okay. Oh, for Christmas, that's still a good gift though. All right. I will say one thing I can note is excuse me. These don't go down as soft to me as an Albrecht Dürer. That's just something I've noticed. Yeah, I did see that they had watercolor pans, but if I buy any more watercolors, I have zero excuse to buy any more. Stupid cough. One day I won't be coughing in everyone's ear, I promise. Get that in there. Yeah, I feel like Albrecht Dürer lays down a lot smoother than these. That's just me, though. Oh yeah, definitely watch tutorials, but also just play with them. You should really just pull out your pencils and do, just try anything and see how they react. Okay. Get this in here. Now, I'm overlapping some of these colors here, but that's okay because I'm not really worried about how they mix together. And I also want a nice equal transition. And I got to cover up this ugly spot from where I erased. I need to break out my smaller brush, but I'm debating. Okay. Oh, thanks, Irene. I still have a cough and congestion, but I don't know. A girl can't take much more vitamin C at this point. So I don't know. It sucks because, yeah, like the best thing if you're sick is rest, but it's like, well, I have like nowhere to do that rest. So it's just not in the cards for me right now. Okay, let's get this. I'm not pressing hard when I put these down. You might hear it scratch though, but I'm not pressing hard. That's just this pencil. I also very rarely sharpen my watercolor pencils because there's just no point. Like, I'm not trying to do anything fancy schmancy. This may need 2 coats because of some of the color ranges I'm going through here. We'll see. Get that there. And I like try to bring my colors in from dark to light and light to dark so that there's not a really dramatic transition between 2 colors. This will be interesting to see how it reacts on that side. Do they wrinkle your paper? Yes and no. It honestly depends on how much water you're putting down. I also use my Ranger heat tool to dry my page a little faster. So if you're really concerned about like too many wrinkles, but I just did one. Oh, where's the book? It's too far away. I just did one the other day with my Albrechters, and it's really not that wrinkly, but I don't use tons of water because if you use light layers and you're using these more high quality pencils, they don't require a ton of water to activate. So you don't need to worry about that. Nope, I want this color. But like some of the cheaper brands, you kind of have to like get a lot of pigment down and then just like drown them to get them to work. Okay, let's see how this works out. Like I said, this area where I erased, I'm like, please don't be ugly. So just get in there. I need you right here. Oh, it's covering it just fine. Yay. I was kind of worried because that oil base down there, I was like, oh, I hope there's not a lot of oil in there. Okay. I get so like heavily concentrated when I'm activating watercolor pencils. Does anyone else get that way? Like a fire alarm could be going off and I'll be like, hang on, I really got to finish this so it doesn't leave a line. Those are going together real nice. You can always do this before your page is actually done, but I'm a scaredy cat, so I don't do backgrounds till my pages are done, and then I just hope I don't ruin them. And then if you notice you're getting lines, just do the little stippling with your brush. Just kind of dot it around so you're not getting any harsh lines. And then like say you end up with a harsh line, right? You can always like pull color off the tip to kind of mitigate that and like blend them back together, especially with some of these darker colors. I actually have a watercolor palette, I think, that I've used similar colors on. I'm going to activate. I always try to activate the lighter first, but if I can't, then I try to really dry off my brush. Get in there. Okay. Let's see, I like the way that violet is. I'm going to add more of that in because I think it creates a nice little glow. On my screen, it looks blue, but it's purple. So I need to adjust the camera setting. Let's see. Yeah, you can iron your pages. I am legit just too lazy to iron. I don't even iron my husband's uniforms. When we got married, there was a clear understanding that there would be no ironing of anything from this wife. So, like, I don't even iron my pages. Hiding in the bathroom. Oh no. Let's see if I can not get onto the gray there. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this violet off the tip and put it in here. If you do pull off the tip, like, you got to remember this is going to be soft now. So, like, don't go straight away using that same side of the pencil because it'll just all sorts of chalk and fall apart on you. I think that's going to work out really well. Is there a bunch of ads showing up in the middle of the stream? Like on my stream? Because that's weird. I might have to go in and like see what happened there. Because I try to not have them. Really? 6? How weird. They changed they changed some settings, but yeah, they shouldn't be going mad like that. So apologies. Like, normally it doesn't do that on my live streams. So it's kind of odd. I don't think I can go back in and change it for replay either. I'll have to see maybe I accidentally clicked something in my sleep deprived brain. So I'm so sorry. I really am. Stupid Google ads. I bought the YouTube Premium because, like, even one ad used to put me in a fit of rage. So I feel you and I apologize. Did you guys notice, like, for those, who have channels, did you guys notice, like, how you can now, it says start a podcast as one of your options? Like, they add these features. I know they tell us about it. I'm just too lazy to read the Google Insider update, but it was like, start a podcast. I'm like, wait, what? Now I can just straight up start a podcast without, like, okay, cool. Not that I'm like into podcasts, but I just noticed that feature and I was like, that's interesting. And then there's also, like, on your phone, start live together. So I thought that was kind of weird. I know when they add something though, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Then I got to go watch the YouTube experts because Google's, like, explanation is awful. Like, you'll read their helpful guide and it's like, I learned nothing from this. So I have to go watch, like, all the YouTube experts who, like, dumb it down for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get what we're talking about. I see where we're going with this, but still I'm like, ugh. But yeah, new features just keep popping up and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I'll admit I keep wanting to do YouTube shorts, but then I'm like, no, I just don't have the creativity. Like, I'll try to make a short and it seriously looks like, yeah, looks like a toddler made it. Actually, that's an insult to a toddler. A toddler would do better than what I create on a YouTube short. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Need a little more water on my brush. Get that. Yes, I like these colors, actually. They're just so magical. kind of like I want to just jump into my book and live in this little fairy house. Get a little more purple here. Oh, I do like that one. Need to get a little more purple here too, though. So like right now, this is a little crinkly. But yes, I could iron this out, but that would require me again to find my iron. I think I gave it away. But the other thing is you could just like close the book nice and flat and no one will ever know. Let's see. Yeah, the go live together thing. I don't know what the heck that is. It just keeps saying go live together. And I'm like, but with who? Like, what is that? Like, so like, do you both have to like click it at the same time? It's kind of odd. So I kind of want to show you guys. So let me plug in my little Ranger tool thing, because this will take me forever and we'll all be like asleep if I finish all that. But I want to show you. So let me dry this area that's wet real quick, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the glitter to make it starry. You only iron your cross stitch. That's awesome. Yeah, they are trying to compete with TikTok. Okay. Nice and dry because I didn't use a lot of water. So I have this one. Where's my other one at? Okay. So we have two options when it comes to how I want to, because like I said, I'll do the rest of this off camera, but like this area is dry, so I can add what I want. So I have two options. I can use my Glitterific, which is like really chunky, crazy, or I can use my Mod Podge, which is the mega glitter in gold, and it creates kind of like a cool starry effect. But like this is basically how thick it is. So really the difference is like the Mod Podge one is like all gold. The confetti's different shapes. The Glitterific has a few different more hologram pieces. So I think I'm going to go with the Glitterific just because I haven't used it in a while and my Mod Podge doesn't dry out. So let me grab my brush. I've got my cheap craft brushes. You broke the iron. I can't laugh because then I'll get in a coughing fit and then I'm going to get a bunch of thumbs down for it. I coughed in people's ears too much. All right, come on, you little Glitterific. Work with me. Might have to mix her a minute. So like once, oh yeah, my grandma ironed everything right down to jeans. When I lived with her, she ironed my jeans. Do you know how awkward that was as a high schooler to go to school with like perfectly ironed jeans? And there were creases down the center. I was like, I can't live this way. See now they make washing machines that like de-wrinkle things, and that's all I need. That's all I need in life. I just throw it in there. It does its thing. It's good. All right, come on, you Glitterific, mix up. My brush is gonna get really messy doing this, but it's okay. I can't find my palette knife at the moment. This is like an example of when you have too many craft supplies, you have to constantly get up to get what you need just to do what you're trying to do. Okay. Hi B. I'll put an update in Discord because I updated earlier in the stream. And but yeah, I'll put another update in Discord later today onto puppies. So I'm adding my glitterific. It's being clumpy right now. But I just want to get, like, it's a very thick and chunky, awesome. Like, it looks just cool for stars, I think. That's just my opinion. Okay. Let's get these ones out. And then, of course, like, the binder with it dries clear, so you don't have to worry about that. My brush is a hot mess right now. All the brushes in my studio are a mess. I need to do some serious studio cleaning. Yeah, it's just a real thick glitter. So because these are so opaque, these watercolor pencils, they're not going to reactivate. But if you have like water on your brush and you're not just adding this glitter, you could technically reactivate them. So like, just keep that in mind. Just go straight with the paint. Don't be adding water. I know my exclamation mark Discord code doesn't work. I need to ask Emily to help me how to set those up because I'm dumb. And then I'll get all my little exclamation mark things that are supposed to be working one day. I say it every stream and then I get busy and I forget and then yeah. But I really need to do that because it would save a lot of hassle. Just gonna get a little more glitter up here. And then I'll dry it and then you guys can see how cute and chunky. I want lots of glitter though. I just want it to look like a star blew up and made a pretty sight. I might actually use some of that in another one. Okay. So let me dry it real fast. Yeah, that's a problem with my craft room right now. Like I can't, like everything had a place when I finished it, but now it doesn't and it just keeps roaming everywhere. It's like all over the place. If I did a craft tour, it would be scary. Yeah, it could be humidity for sure. Right. That's about as dry as it's going to get right now. But so you can see how extra chunky that glitterific is. You got some hologram chunkies in there, glitter flakes. It's just a very, like, the words aren't working with me, dynamic effect. But on top of the watercolor, it looks really pretty. So that's probably what will be my project the rest of the day. Just filling this in and then getting that glitterific all over it. But like I said, I'll take some pictures of what we finished today because we actually got quite a bit done. We got pan pastel started. We've got a gelato background that's drying. I did something else. We did one with Neocolors that I just have to finish up. So I'll take pictures and all that. But yeah, let's see. Melissa was sharing the Discord thing. But yeah, so I'll send pictures of the community tab and Instagram later today. But it's been a few hours, so I'm going to call it and kind of go see what the kids are up to and take care of the puppies. But thanks for hanging out today with me, you guys. And I hope you have a a really good Sunday. And yeah, until next time, take care. Bye, everyone.